You're probably wondering, why is this happening? And you may ask yourself, of all the things in the world of entertainment to make a video on right now, why is Andy choosing a movie from the year 2000? You would be right to ask that, but what you probably don't know is this movie is getting a sequel this year. I know, crazy, right? But Netflix is putting out a sequel this November. Now, this is a childhood movie of mine. I remember watching this when I was a little kid, but it's one of those movies that I haven't watched since I was a kid. I found out it was streaming on Peacock, so I watched it for the first time in probably like 20 years. So now let's talk about it. Chicken Run. So Chicken Run, like I said, it was released in the year 2000. It was made by Aardman Animations, you know, Wallace and Gromit. They would later make movies like Curse of the Were-Rabbit and Flushed Away. So Chicken Run centers around this chicken farm in what I imagine is probably England in like the 1940s. All these chickens are being raised in a farm, you know? We know farms for raising animals for slaughter, you know, for meat. But these chickens, yeah, they don't like that idea, so they want to escape. Watching this movie now, I was like, holy crap, it's like a concentration camp, but for chickens. Which I'm sure was the idea. Yeah, that totally went over my head as a kid. And so these chickens, they've been trying to escape for a while, but you know, each plan fails, like the Tank Gang in Finding Nemo. But when a rooster named Rocky, who can supposedly fly, lands in their farm, things get fun. And now it looks like these chickens might have a chance to escape after all. And now we have a movie. A movie I was really surprised by. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching it. I mean, what you gotta keep in mind is that this movie, first and foremost, is for kids. It's about a group of chickens that want to escape from a farm. Right there, you should know, you're not supposed to take this that seriously. The leader of this group, her name is Ginger, and she's really relatable because she is very determined. She's really inspiring. Because you know when you set a goal for yourself and you're like, I don't know if I'm ever going to actually accomplish this, in whatever situation in life you might have, Ginger here really displays all the emotions of that spectrum. Like there are scenes where she's like, yep, we're going to do this. And then there are scenes where she's like, I don't know, who am I kidding? I mean, they're trying to escape their inevitable death, you know? They're being raised on a farm for their eggs first and foremost. But once they don't lay any eggs for a while, it's off with their heads. They don't want that, so yeah, there's their motivation. But I'll tell you who steals the movie though. Yeah, it's Rocky. He comes from America, he's voiced by Mel Gibson. And it's one of those situations where all these chickens, they find him so amazing because wow, he can fly, oh, he can teach us how to fly out of here. And of course, we the audience watching, we know that chickens can't fly. So Rocky has to pose and be like, yes, I will teach you all how to fly. So it's essentially the story of the con man teaching a community to believe in themselves. Kind of like The Music Man. Yeah, there's that element in this movie too. Which does kind of lead this movie to be predictable in a way. Like if you've never seen it before and you're just watching it now, you're like, yeah, I know exactly where this movie's gonna go. But of course you have to keep in mind that this is a kid's movie. That does kind of give it a pass. Or it does if it's executed very well. And I thought this movie executed it very well. Is it predictable? Yes, but Rocky is so charismatic. He's going around like, yep, I'm Rocky Rhodes. Hey, how you chicks doing? So which bunk is mine? You end up loving his personality. And then there are the people running the farm, the Tweedies. Mr. and Mrs. Tweedy, yeah, they're pretty entertaining as villains. Militia Tweedy in particular. Now, it's funny, if I had to make any comparison, I would say Militia Tweedy is like Cersei Lannister. In me trying to keep this video kid-friendly, I know some kids might be like, who's that? To which I say, don't worry about it. But she really does come off like that because she is really not a nice person. I mean, you take one look at her and you're like, yep, that is the villain. In which case you have Mr. Tweedy, who's the whipped dog of the two. You just gotta wonder what kind of relationship they might have. And again, keeping this video kid-friendly, I'll just leave it at that. Now, watching this movie last night, I was like, the animation is actually really good. I mean, it's stop motion. Not only that, it's Aardman stop motion. They have a particular way of designing their characters, you know, with their eyes. You see the resemblance to Wallace and Gromit. It being nostalgic for me, it really took me back. This movie pretty much has everything. It's got a lot of funny humor. I laughed a lot watching this last night, surprisingly so. It's got drama that works. You really do feel for the characters. I mean, hell, you want them to get out, because the grass really is greener on the other side. Plus, this movie has a really fun action sequence, because the farmers learn that they can make a lot more money making pies. So they get this pie machine, and to test it, they grab Ginger, and Rocky has to rescue her. That whole action sequence, I remember loving as a kid. I think I actually had this on VHS, and I would watch this movie in like slow motion, frame by frame, just to see each section of this action sequence. Like first they're on the conveyor belt, then they go down the chute, and now they're in the oven. It's a really well choreographed action sequence. I loved it, it's really exciting. And so with great relatable and funny characters, fun action, humor, and drama, we also got a great musical score. It was written by John Powell and Harry Gregson-Williams. And man, we got some awesome brass fanfares in here. dun da dun 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 dun. It almost sounds like a western. But not only do we have a great brass fanfare, but this score uses, of all instruments, kazoos. Yeah, I was like, what? Best use of kazoos I've ever heard in a movie score. So guys, in the end, Chicken Run is great. It's a fun adventure for the whole family. It may be a little predictable at times, but honestly, that won't bother you no matter how old you are. Because you just get sucked into this fantasy. This movie just knows how to do it right. And as for the upcoming sequel titled Dawn of the Nugget, well, it's being written by the same writers as this, so it looks like it's going to be in good hands. I guess we will see towards the end of the year. But until then, Chicken Run, have you seen it? What are your thoughts on it? If you haven't seen it, like I said, it's streaming on Peacock, check it out. And whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!